Shartimus Prime, Shartimus Prime. Reading comics, toys are hella sick, hella whacking it. Taking bad hits, taking back hits. Subscribe for more things.
Oh, I've always wanted to be an X-Men. How come I don't get... Hey, what's up, you guys? Shartimus Prime here, doing another Marvel Legends action figure review on the 2018 Deadpool Sauron Build-A-Figure Waves Omega Red. If you're trying to pick up this figure, you can do so on...
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
Alright, we're getting a new Omega Red. I'm very excited for this. I think most of us are very excited for this one. Anyway, on the side we get a nice image of Omega Red over there. And then on the back you can see a nice looking product shot. There's a read-up over here on Omega Red. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it now. There's the other figures from the wave. Now on this side we get Omega Red again, and then we get the spot varnished black and red X logo at the top. Not much more at the bottom, so let's get to it and crack this thing open. And here's the new Omega Red figure out of the packaging, looking pretty awesome so far. Just a quick side note that today's the last day to place a bid on the auction for the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man, signed by the one and only Shartimus Prime. Please check that out if you're interested. Also, after you're done watching this review, go ahead and check me out on Twitch. I will be hosting my live stream of me playing the PS4 Spider-Man. If you don't see me on Twitch right after the video, it's probably me dealing with complications or me trying to figure out how to use it, so it's the first time for me. But anyway, back to this Omega Red over here. This thing looks incredible. I'm actually pretty impressed with it so far. I really like how this looks. At first, I was a little pessimistic towards it because I really like the Toy Biz version a lot, but so far, I gotta say I'm pleased with how this figure looks. It doesn't come with too many accessories, but let's get a closer look at those, and then we'll get a closer look at Omega Red. So we get 4 Carbonadium accessories with this figure, and I like this. I'm actually surprised how much I enjoy these. Now, these do not have bendy wires in them. That disappointed me just hearing it, but actually using this on a display with my Wolverine figure in several poses, I actually had a good time with this. Now, one thing that always bothered me about the Toy Biz version is I didn't like that they used the same exact tendrils that we saw for the Sentinel, and I always thought these were a little bit too dark looking for the Carbonadium. I mean, yes, they do have the bendy wires in them, but I just felt like it didn't have the right look. These right here really look like they have that look, and I'm used to seeing these colored in the comics like very light white or silver colors, so this is appropriate. I like this. I think this is pretty cool. So you have this long one right here. It has one loopy right there, another right there, and then we get the second one that has just one loop right there, and then you get these 2 smaller ones right here. They are not identical to each other. They're squiggly in their own kind of way, so I think that's pretty awesome. And then you can just port them into this under part of his forearm right there, and you can see how that ports in. Same thing with these. You can just go ahead and port that in, and it's pretty easy to do, so I like that. And you could rotate them around, so I don't know if you could really count that as articulation, but hey, you can, you have posing options here, and I like that. So you're just looking at the head sculpt, and I like this a lot more than I thought I was going to like it. I just didn't think it looked very detailed from the images that I had seen or from what I had seen at San Diego Comic-Con. But this looks way better than I thought it was going to look. For one thing, you got to compare it to the Toy Biz version, and this does have more paint detail in it. I really like the nasty looking paints that we're seeing on this figure. I mean, I think it looks pretty cool to me. But this does go with a cleaner look that we've been seeing with Legends lately, and it's still not lacking any detail or anything. I'm very satisfied with the amount of work that went into this face sculpt. I mean, looking at, I don't know, these are like some cybernetics right over here. This guy was tested on kind of like the super soldier experiments with Steve Rogers and Captain America and everything. This guy was a serial killer and stuff, so he was kind of a wacko beforehand. But looking at the silver right there on the sides of his mouth, that is great. And I love the wrinkles that we see in his face. It's kind of tricky to pick up. And he does have red right there for the eyes. The eyebrows look really good. I like how there's this very slight bluish hue to that white paint for his face. It's very, very subtle. As I darken things, you might be able to see it a little better. You can see even more wrinkles. The teeth look really good. Another thing I really dig about this is that there's this very subtle light blonde highlight going throughout the hair, and I dig that a lot. You can see it a little bit right there and right there. Look at that, man. That is awesome. I really dig that. Nice sculpting on the hair, too. This doesn't rotate or anything, but hey, The sculpting looks really good. As far as the shoulder pads go, I'm pleased with these. You can see some marbling right there, but I like this cross-hatching texture, you know, that we're seeing right there. That looks pretty neat. There's these pegs that you do plug into the body of the figure. And this is a new body that I'm very excited for, by the way, but you can see a peg right over there. And they stay in there fairly securely. It can be tricky lining them up sometimes, but for the most part, I think they work out really well. Then looking at the arms, look really good. I really like this new body. A little bit of paint missing right there. Yeah, my hands are really dry. Lots of drumming. But nice veins right there on the arms, over the bicep. Looking at the back, I don't know, these trapezoids? I'm not sure. I don't know the names of all the muscles. I know they're not trapezoids. You know, that's a shape or something. And you could detach this whole thing if you want to. And you have some canisters sculpted right here. And this is all nice, soft material. I like that subtle texturing right over here. That is really cool. Looking really good, man. I like the Omega red, or the Omega logo right over there. Nice bright silver paint over the hands. Wish he had interchangeable hands a little bit, but at the same time, I'm happy with him having an open hand and a fisted hand. That doesn't bother me too much. He has these big old meaty thighs right there. Looks good. He has some stretchy, you know, going across the butt cheeks. Then looking at these big old huge calves. Look really good. And we got these big old knee pads right here. I think this is awesome. Of course, he has the peg holes at the bottom of his feet. Some wrinkles over the feet right there, too. I think this looks great, man. So just to pique my curiosity, I'm going to unpeg this and detach all of this just to see how this new body looks. And I am liking it, man. That is cool. This should definitely replace a Hyperion body mold. Speaking of Hyperion body mold, just curious to see, you know, like if you wanted to customize. Oh, man! Oh, dude, that would be a sick Venom. I mean, maybe the head sits a little too high, but shoot, dude. Like, yeah, customizers out there, yeah, get yourself an extra Omega Red. I believe I will have a giveaway for one on my Patreon, but, I mean, shoot, man. That is sick. I think that would make a really good body mold for Venom. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with the articulation of this figure. You can move the head up quite a bit. That is great, especially with having all this hair back here. I am very impressed by that. Thank you, Hasbro. I like that very much. You can move the head all the way downward. You also get side-to-side motion right here, and a little bit of head pivoting. We get a butterfly joint on this big buck body. I like that a lot. Great looking butterfly joint. Shoulders move outward that far. You can't really, yeah, it feels like the right side can move up a little farther than the left. You can move forward, you can move back. Due to the shoulder pads, they are hindered, otherwise you could do a full 360. Again, careful about the chipping, that does irk me a little bit, but you could barely even see it. Anyway, you get a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that bend in more than 90 degrees, those are great. And you can turn the wrist side to side, and they both hinge back and down. You get a good ab crunch right there, boom, people were worried about that. I did split this peg from this whole piece right here. Let's see if I could, yeah, there you go. So you can get that, you know, staying together fairly well. It's going to come apart though if you're not too careful about it. It can bend back that much. You get a waist swivel, hips move outward pretty far. You can kick forward very high and back the tiniest bit, upper thigh cut, double jointed knees, and then the ankles move down. They do move up, and he does have ankle pivot. Now to measure out this brand new Omega Red figure with this new body mold, you can see that he is standing at about 7.5 inches tall to the top of his head. Looks pretty good, man. And then for your Omega Red comparison, we have the Hasbro version next to the Toy Biz version. And while I've really liked this Toy Biz version, oh man, I'm leaning more towards the Hasbro one right here. I mean, at least seeing these two side by side like this, the legs don't really look like they're in proportion, and I feel like the torso does look a little small over here. I mean, I still like this figure. I also like the tendrils on this figure more so, and you cannot swap these out, by the way. There's this whole angled thing going on with the Toy Biz version that make it tricky to try to swap them, so yeah, you can't really do that. But man, I mean, I think they're both really good figures, but yeah, I'm liking this Hasbro one. Another thing to mention is that the metallic paint just did not hold up over time. You can see this looks pink. When I first got this, it was red. And if you really like this more gritty looking head sculpt and you wanted to do a swap, it's not really possible without heating this up. I just don't think it's really possible to do that. This is really stuck on there. And then comparing Omega Red next to a couple X-Men characters, we have the new Colossus figure and our latest Wolverine figure. I love that Wolverine figure so much. But yeah, I think this scales out very nicely. I really like how Omega Red fits in with these two. And then to bring back that Venom figure, here's Omega Red next to Venom. Venom. And yeah, if they didn't have this new body mold, they would have probably have gone with the Hyperion body mold for Omega Red. I'm glad they didn't go that way. I really hope to see a new Venom figure with this body mold. I think that would just work out perfectly. Yeah, it looked so cool. I mean, come on. Let's just take another look at it one more time. Okay, the shoulder pads throw me off, but hey, come on, man. That's gonna work out great, isn't it? Come on, man. That looks awesome. And then here's Omega Red next to all of the other figures from this wave that I've already reviewed. We have Bishop, X-23 Wolverine, Lady Deadpool, Boxers Deadpool, and X-Men Deadpool. Wow, that's a lot of Deadpool. And then here's Omega Red next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Ooh, hey man, nice hair. Kind of reminds me of Dave Mustaine on a Sunday, right? And that's what you get. So I gotta thank you guys again for watching my video. I really do appreciate it, especially when you watch the video all the way from the beginning to the end. And I also appreciate it when you hit that like button if you like the video. Please leave a comment down below letting me know what you think of this figure. Let me know what you think of the review. And please hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell if you have not already. Again, I like this figure a lot. I was really holding back my expectations, but yeah, I'm very pleased with this. I really dig it. It's really one of the figures that I've been looking forward to from this wave, and it definitely delivered. So I gotta say, I am quite happy with it. If you have any gripes with the figure, I am very curious to know. I guess maybe more paint apps or something, but I mean, really, I'm pretty happy with this guy. So I'm giving this a sud rating of...
I love it!
And again, I would like to know what you guys think, so please let me know in the comments section below. If you want to see the latest in Marvel news, forums, and photos, you can find it all over at marvelousnews.com. And if you want to stay in touch with me on the social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch, and I will be on Twitch this afternoon. So as soon as you're done with this video, head over to the Twitch. Hopefully I'll be on there. Again, if you see any complications or anything, it's just me trying to figure things out. It's my first time, right? So be gentle, okay? All right, I'll catch you guys later. Peace!
I'm gonna play with my toys today. Well, I don't care what my people say. I'm gonna play with my toys today. Can't have one, I gotta get them all. Time to make a trip to the local mall. Oh yeah!
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't. And then we go and